Hey y'all, I'm back with another book review. I just finished Stars Above, which is a Lunar Chronicles book. It's a collection of the short stories. For example, Keeper, Glitches, and so like that, a few of them were at the end of other books, but not very many. She actually had quite a few new ones, and it was a difficult read, I'm not gonna lie. I like when stories are told. I prefer them like separate. I don't know why, but like I like them separate or like at the end of the other books. Like they were fine, but having them all in one, it was just a lot for my brain to handle. It was kind of interesting. Anyway, the first one, Keeper, was about Scarlett's grandmother and how she took care of Cinder when she first came to Earth, and they had to keep her in a stationary thing that helped her develop and kept her alive, a suspension tape. Why can I remember that? Anyway, so it was like she had to keep her alive and she had to do all this stuff, and at the end of Keeper, that short little story, like she's like, this is my daughter, like this is another one of my like this is a child to me, like this is like my own granddaughter. And so like it was super emotional, and you find out that Cinder actually got her name from Michelle, or Scarlett's grandmother, and it's just like, that's super cool, because she rose out of the ashes just like a phoenix. And then Glitches is about how Cinder comes to New Beijing, or the Empire or whatever, and she is adopted into a family, and then the man that adopted her, who knew like she was Princess Celine and all this stuff, he developed the plague and he died. And so then she was totally put into this crazy like whole Cinderella story, and it leads up to Cinderella. The Queen's Army is about Wolf and about how he became genetically modified to be the super soldier, and how the Queen like did this to these children and they didn't have a choice. Which was super, dictatorship. Coswell's Guide to Being Lucky was all about Coswell, obviously, Coswell Thorne, and he tells a story about how he actually did like a girl for reals before Cress, and it was the girl that he got suspended for in that Cress talks about in Cress, and how she's like, you were really kind and you actually did care for her and you stuck up for her. And he's like, no, and then you get to see like he really did stick up for her. He because she was getting picked on, and so he really did stand up for her, and I thought that was super cool. After the Sunshine Passes, ooh, I can't remember what that one is about, actually. Totally just finished that too. Oh, that's right. This is the one where Crescent actually goes and is put on the satellite. How Sybil takes her away and just puts her on the satellite, and she's all alone on the satellite. And it's just super sad, and like, I get to see that story of how she was actually put there. The Princess in the Guard is where Winter decides she doesn't want to use her powers, her lunar abilities, to manipulate people anymore, because there was a woman, which they totally alluded to in Winter and I think a little bit in Cress, of how the reason why she doesn't use her powers is because she manipulated this one woman, and this one woman was being physically, emotionally, sexually abused by one of the leaders in the capital, and she was a child, she had no idea. And so she saved her from killing herself, and then later on she kills herself anyway when Winter's like 14, because she was pregnant, and the guy didn't even care. Like, it was purposeful. Obviously, she actually did commit suicide, because a lot of suicides were committed, but wasn't accidental. And you got to see that she was so set and not manipulating people. She let her stepmother cut her face open. Like 3 scars are across her face because she refused to use her ability on people anymore. And like, I think that's super, you can see how strong she is. Okay, so the little android, it's like a new one, and I was super excited about this. it's like the Little Mermaid, and it's like not like, you know, Disney Mermaid. It's like Hans Christian Andersen Little Mermaid, where she actually dies at the end. And I was just like, oh, I love it. I love all the analogies. I love how she's so in love with this man who she even saves his life in the beginning, and she's an android, by the way. And so she saves her life, and then she gets put into a prostitute bot or escort bot. I'm sorry. It's a prostitute bot, basically, is what it is. And she has no voice box, just like the Little Mermaid. Like, I was just like, ah, yes! Like, I'm so happy. I mean, I love all the characters, but, like, I was, like, super happy for a new character. But, of course, she dies at the end, just like a normal one. The mechanic is Kai's viewpoint of when he brought his robot to Cinder, and saying he was nervous. He was super attracted to this girl who was completely grungy and, like, didn't care that he was the prince, and, like, didn't want to, like, fawn over him like all the other girls, and he liked that. It was refreshing. And, like, I don't know, I kind of liked that he was like, oh, I like her, because she's not normal. She's not prissy. She doesn't care that she looks like she just came out from under a machine. Like, I loved that. And then the last one is where Scarlet and Wolf get married, and it was just so cute because, I mean, they were making a media circus because it was a lunar, because Wolf was lunar and Scarlet's human, and they're like, oh, it's going to be the first wedding in this second era of a lunar marrying a human. Oh! Anyway, so because of this, Wolf makes this whole plan with all of her friends, and Scarlet doesn't know that they were going to have the wedding 3 days early. And so they had the wedding, and it was just so cute, and, like, they had something old and something new, which is something barred and something blue. Like, they did all, like, the traditional elements of a wedding, and it was just super cute and super romantic, and, like, the fact that they were each other's alphas, where, like, they could go anywhere together, like, they are able to do and conquer love and conquer the world, basically, is what Scarlet and Wolf do. And, like, no matter what, they'll have each other's back, even if they completely disagree. And they both have very fiery tempers. I mean, hello, Scarlet's a redhead. We all know they have very fiery tempers. And then Wolf is a wolf. And so it's just super, I loved it. And then at the end, Kai proposes to Cinder. And I'm just like, yes! Finally! Like, you proposed! And it's all done! And, like, I can now, like, be like, the Lunar Chronicles are now completely finished. And so I think it was super, super cute, super romantic. And so I loved the last 3. The other ones were a little droll. Like, they were, So I really liked the little mechanic, or the little android, the mechanic, and something borrowed, something new. Or something old, something new. And, like, those are the 3 that I liked. The other ones, I just was like, like, okay, like, it's good storyline if you're reading the books and stuff like that. But, like, it just, it was a little droll. It just was. But I would recommend it because I super love the Lunar Chronicles, and you should read it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe. And if there's anything you want me to read or review, please put it in the comments. Thank you so much, and have a great day.